Fourth and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Now, of course, as we've seen, especially the past 4 games, win the turnover battle equals winning the game, right? So what happened here, right? Giants did not turn the ball over at all, okay? You said you figure that interception that Hurts throw, right? That was about a 10-point swing right there because the Giants were able to punch it in for a touchdown. But you figure it probably took about, at least 3 points off the board for the Eagles, right? And then you figure then the other one, where were they at? Let's see, where were they at? Is it? Okay. Trying to think the Eagles were once again play-by-play. Okay. When they fumbled the second, when they fumbled. They had a 7-play, 69-yard drive going. So, this was right after the Giants touchdown. Giants made a 3-score game, but the Eagles started marching right down the field. Got down to the 37-yard line. Got down to the 26-yard line. Once again, at least in field goal range, once again. Then the Belton and a Carrick. Belton and a Carrick went on a tackle. Belton fumbled it, punched it out, and Phillips recovered at the 25. But they got down to the 26-yard line. So once again, in field goal range, right, last night. Which huge, right? You look at it, it was 34, it was 27-17. Okay. That interception was at least a 10-point swing right there. At least a 10-point swing. You figure it was 27-17. Say, woulda, coulda, shoulda, that's all I'm saying. Hurts doesn't throw the interception, right? Say they get 3 points there. Now it's 27-7. Okay. Giants get the ball back. I don't know what the Giants would have done. They did score a touchdown, but that's because Flott ran the ball back almost darn near to the red zone, right? But just say just say the Giants get the ball back and they don't have to punt, right? Well, then the Eagles had the ball and they started marching right back down the middle. They got down to the 26-yard line where they fumbled the ball, right? Another turnover, right? Took points off the board for the Eagles. I say it was 27-7. Say the Eagles, the guy gets tackled. Say they can't get another first down, whatever. They kick a field goal. Now it's 27-23, right? At that particular point in time, when there was 6 minutes. The Giants. I'm going to talk about this in just a second. The Giants actually got the ball with 6 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the game and ran the clock out. Right. But so if the Eagles kick the field goal, now it's 27-23. Right. Now, to be fair, the Giants were up by 3 scores. Giants got the ball back and they just started running the ball and they ran the clock out. Right. And you can kind of tell it was kind of like the Eagles are down by 3 scores. The Giants are running with Cam. You can just tell it kind of like took a lot of the steam out of the Eagles, especially their defense. It's like they were trying, but they were down by 3 scores. Pretty tough to come back from 3 scores with about 6 minutes to go in the game. chances are it's not happening, right? So you can almost kind of tell where they were kind of like maybe, I don't want to say giving up, but they weren't wholeheartedly in it, shall we say, right? But say if the game's 27-23, right? Now the Eagles kick off to the Giants. There's 6 minutes and 50 seconds or 6 minutes to go in the game. That's an eternity. So the Eagles maybe make a stop and they get the ball back and they start marching back down the field again. Anything's possible. Anything is possible. Right, so those turnovers were huge, absolutely huge. As I said, that one was like a 10-point swing. Took at least 3 points, the interception. At least 3 points, good chance that the Eagles were going to make the field goal if they didn't score a touchdown, right? But it took 10 points off. It took 3 points away from the Eagles, gave the Giants 7 because we scored the touchdown, right? They were in field goal range when they fumbled the ball. That's another possibly 3 points a day. Or maybe if they didn't fumble the ball, maybe they go in and score a touchdown. Who knows, right? That was huge. But you look at it with the Giants is that you go back to the week before with the Saints, right? What happened there, right? 5 consecutive drives wound up in turnovers. Quite a few of them, were scoring range. Right. Then, of course, the one we lost 26-14. The one was basically at least a 10-point swing. We were down with Scatterby. They picked up the ball. What the heck was it? At the 14-yard line, I think it was. So we were in the red zone and we were marching. We were moving. Possibly we scored a touchdown there. Who knows? But before we got stopped, that was a Giants going to kick it. Quite possibly would have kicked the field goal. It gave us 3 points. Scatterby fumbles the ball. They pick it up, running back 86 yards for a touchdown. That's a 10-point swing right there. At least a 10-point swing. You take 7 points off of the Saints because of that fumble. If we don't. That's all I'm saying. Now they got 19 points. You give us 3 points for kicking the field, and that's 19-17. Whole new ball going down. Right? But we turn over 5 times. Right? The week before that, what happens? The Giants had the first drive of the game, right? They walked down the field and scored a touchdown. The rest of the game against the Chargers, basically the Giants offense scored 3 points. 3 points. They scored the other 11 points on a field goal and a touchdown with a 2-point conversion, but basically came off of interceptions. Right? The balls got picked off, ran back. Drew Phillips got tackled inside the 5. Sexy Dexy got tackled inside the 5. 2 drives, I think, started inside the 5. We can only score 1 touchdown. Right? But that was 11 points that we got basically off of those 2 turnovers. You take those 11 points away, right? The Giants only have 10 points. Then the Giants lose the game. Huge. Same thing the week before, right? Against the Chiefs. The Giants had 2 turnovers. The Chiefs didn't have any. The Chiefs wound up with 3 points off of one of the Giants. Actually, they had 2 field goal opportunities off of the 2 turnovers that the Giants had. Let's see here. Let me see here. Where are we at here? All right, so the Giants. Let's see here. Giants had an interception in the second quarter, and off of that, the Chiefs missed the field goal. Right? We're lucky there. But then, let's see. Then the Giants, toward the end of the first half, right, threw an interception. And then as the Chiefs went 7 plays and 69 yards, 7 plays and 49 seconds, and they kicked the field goal at the end of the half. So because of the 2 turnovers, right, the Chiefs quite possibly could have had 6 points, but they only wound up with 3. Right? Right, the Chiefs didn't have any turnovers at all. But we basically gave the Chiefs, what didn't I say? They gave them 3 points. But sorry, I got to move my legs. But the Chiefs wound up with an extra 3 points because right at the end of the first half because of that interception. Right? So, I mean, it's huge. Absolutely huge. Win the turnover battle. you win the game, right? So it's going to be very interesting to see when we go play, like maybe the Eagles in a couple weeks. We play the Broncos, right? Let's see how the turnover margin goes, right? Because, when you got a rookie quarterback and, you're not the best team in the league, right? You can ill afford, shall we say, to go out there and start turning the ball over, right? So Giants did a very good job protecting the ball against the Chargers. They did a very good job protecting the ball against the Eagles, and what happened? They wound up winning. So, I'm a Giants fan anyway. Keep your fingers crossed that we can keep protecting the ball. Not only so much that, right, keep protecting the ball, but keep getting the ball away from the other team. I said that was huge, absolutely huge. That the 2 turnovers that we had from the Eagles last night took points off the board from them. Could have been a different game. And I said the Charger game, the 2 turnovers we got, the 2 interceptions we got from the Chargers, okay, gave us points, which gave us the win. So turnovers are absolutely huge. You win a lot of times, you win a turnover battle, you win a football game. So something to keep an eye on.